Thank you for applying with DES Employment Group. We are committed to bringing our clients reliable, talented, and qualified employees. We think you meet those standards and are excited to work with you and want to help you succeed. This video will inform you of our policies and procedures related to attendance, communication, workers' compensation, hazardous environments, and safety standards. DES Employment Group is an equal opportunity employer and will not discriminate against age, sex, religion, disability, race, or any other basis protected under law. We will extend equal employment opportunities to all applicants and employees. Reasonable accommodations will be available to qualified persons upon request. It is important that you keep in contact with us on a regular basis. While waiting for an assignment, you need to make sure you are calling us at least once a week. If you move, change phone numbers, or need to update your skill set, make sure that you are updating that information on your account, located on our website at desemploymentgroup.com, as well as contacting your local office to ensure the changes were made. If we do not have a working number for you, we will be unable to contact you for an assignment. It is important that you keep your skills current, as that is one of the ways we will match you with a position that meets your qualifications. If for any reason you stop contacting DES, we will assume that you voluntarily quit or have found another job. It is important to contact the office at least once a week. We take the responsibility of being your employer very seriously and want to provide you with the knowledge and tools for a safe work environment. You're expected to follow the policies in place, and not doing so could result in termination of employment. DES Employment Group has a zero-tolerance policy for all forms of workplace harassment. Harassment is any form of unwanted or offensive conduct that leads to a hostile work environment. While you are on assignment, we expect you to represent DES in a positive way. If you feel that you have been a victim of workplace harassment, you need to report to your DES representative immediately. DES has a very strict substance abuse policy. We do not allow the use of any illegal substance or alcohol while on assignment. When you filled out the application, you agreed to a drug screening. By doing so, you have indicated that you understand and agree with our policy. We will work hard to find an assignment that you are qualified for. If for any reason you do not think you will be able to complete the assignment, you need to tell your DES representative immediately. Our clients rely on us to provide qualified individuals to fill their positions, and we rely on you to complete the assignment. Failure to complete the assignment will result in disciplinary action up to and including termination from DES. Now that you have agreed to our terms, your DES representative will provide you with all of the information you will need before you start an assignment. Again, you are representing DES while on assignment, and we have expectations that need to be met. First impressions are everything, so it is recommended that you arrive early to your assignment, dressed properly and ready to work. When you arrive, ask for your supervisor and shake their hand and introduce yourself. You shouldn't be afraid to ask proper assignment-related questions. At the end of the day, you should communicate with your supervisor on what was completed for the day, as well as the status of any projects you were given. It is your responsibility to submit your hours worked each week to your supervisor. This ensures you will receive your pay on time each weekly pay period. If you have questions regarding DES's payroll process, please ask a DES representative or your client's supervisor. After being assigned to a client, you need to contact us if any of the following situations occur. If you will be late, if your job duties change, if your assignment ends early, if you witness or sustain a workplace injury, if you have any other problems or issues pertaining to the assignment, or if our client shows interest in hiring you permanently. You must also contact us at least 1 hour before your assignment begins if you're going to be absent, and provide any documentation requested by your DES representative regarding your absence. You must dress properly for your assignment. You must have a neat and clean appearance. Wear proper personal protective equipment, otherwise known as PPE or safety gear. You should never wear loose or baggy clothing or jewelry that could get caught in equipment or cause a hazard. If you have long hair, you need to make sure it is pulled back and secure. You might have other PPE equipment that is required to wear in certain work environments. PPE can be a variety of different things: safety glasses, hard hats, reflective vests, steel-toed boots, safety gloves, and earplugs are the most common. Make sure that all of your PPE fits you properly and report any issues you have with the equipment to your supervisor. Safety is our #1 priority at DES. It is imperative that you follow our safety standards and guidelines and understand your position fully. 90% of workplace injuries occur within the first 3 days. Taking risks, running, and horseplay often result in injury. Make sure you use common sense and act properly while on assignment. Other items to consider would be only using well-marked entrances and exits. Always wash your hands after using any fluid, chemicals, or other harsh liquids. And always keep your work area clean and unobstructed. You need to make sure you are properly trained on any equipment that you will be using. Use proper lifting techniques, and always use caution when on ladders or off the ground. We also want you to report any unsafe working conditions. If the duties you were assigned may change, please make sure you contact DES immediately. We must approve any changes to your assignment before you perform the tasks. You need to be aware of your surroundings while at work. There are many forms of hazards that are common in the workplace. The most common ones are overhead hazards. For example, heavy loads being suspended, work being done over your head, electrified wires or sharp corners at head level. Electrical hazards, for example, would be exposed electrical wire, frayed extension cords, overuse of power strips, or equipment that hasn't been properly locked and tagged before maintenance is performed. Make sure you always look where you're stepping in case of any uneven or wet floors. If you are on a ladder or stairs, make sure you know where you are stepping to prevent any falls. Never take shortcuts around equipment, and always follow the designated traffic patterns to avoid any accidents with equipment such as forklifts. Weather is another hazard in the workplace. Make sure you always dress appropriately for the weather. In the winter, wear warm clothing and leave plenty of time to get to work with poor road conditions. And in the summer, make sure you drink plenty of water to stay hydrated and avoid heat stroke. Always use proper lifting techniques when lifting heavy objects. Ask for help when an object is too heavy to lift on your own, and always use your legs to lift. Never twist, overreach, or use your back when doing heavy lifting. Plant your feet firmly, get a good hold on the object, and keep your back and neck in a relaxed position when lifting. And never try and catch a heavy object that is falling. Before you use any machinery, make sure all guards, emergency stop buttons, and other safety procedures are in place. They are there for your safety, so never tamper with or remove any safety equipment from the machine. And don't operate any machines without the safety equipment. If you see any equipment that is not properly guarded, make sure you report it to the client's supervisor, as well as your DES representative. If a machine breaks, never try to repair the machine unless you have been assigned to do so by DES. If there is a jam, don't try to dislodge the product unless the machine has been properly locked out and tagged. Never put yourself in harm's way. If you see any machinery that is malfunctioning, contact the client's supervisor immediately. Lockout tagout is a procedure in place for equipment that is being serviced. You need to do this when replacing or working on electrical circuits or wires, working on hydraulic equipment in a raised position, working on pipelines or hoses that could become pressurized. If you have any questions over lockout tagout procedures, please ask your client's supervisor. You should not perform lockout tagout procedures unless DES has assigned you to do so and you've received training specific to the work site. Never take off the lock or tag from equipment unless you have been asked to do so. If you're not sure if something should be locked out, remember, when in doubt, lock it out. All companies will have an OSHA-regulated hazard communication standard. All chemicals will be properly labeled with its content and logged in a Material Safety Data Sheet MSDS book. If you are asked to work around chemicals, the MSDS book will be available to you if you have any questions on the chemical. If you are asked to work with a chemical that you do not have proper training on, please contact DES immediately. Ergonomics is a way to make sure you work safely and efficiently. A job may look easy, but poor posture, stance, and prolonged repetitive movement can cause injury. Make sure on breaks you move around, change your position while working, and alternate your job duties. Make sure that in your workstation you can face forward with your feet planted on the floor or use a footrest, and your head and neck are upright. Your arms, shoulders, lower legs, and trunk should be perpendicular to the ground. Forearms and elbows should be close to the body, and forearms, wrists, hands, and thighs should be parallel with the floor. All companies should have a first aid kit available. Ask your supervisor if you need an item commonly found in the first aid kit. You should also know procedures for any emergency, such as fire or storms. Safety is very serious to DES and our clients, and we do provide workman's comp insurance to cover any expenses if you're injured on the job. We will do all we can to provide you with proper training and knowledge for a safe work environment, but we do understand that accidents will happen. In the event of an on-the-job injury, you need to report the injury immediately to your supervisor, as well as your local DES representative. Do not ask or assume that anyone will report your injury for you. Unless it is an emergency, you need to make sure you are the one contacting the office. If you wait even a day to report the injury, it could affect your work comp benefits. Once you contact your DES office, they will arrange your transportation and meet you at the facility that handles the work comp claims. Post-accident drug testing is standard as part of DES's investigation and was agreed to when consenting to the drug screening at time of application. We will take immediate action on all legitimate claims to ensure that you are taken care of. We will investigate all claims to the fullest extent and will fight fraudulent claims with all available resources. You can receive a hard copy of our handbook detailing our policies and procedures, as well as review the copy located on our website. To access the handbook, you can log into your account on our website at desemploymentgroup.com. The handbook is located under the e-Documents tab once you've entered your username and password. We are excited to work with you, and don't forget to ask about our employee referral bonus. On behalf of all of us, we'd like to thank you for your application and for choosing DES Employment Group.